Do you have a toddler who is just starting to learn how to read? In this video, I'm going to show you some simple ways that can help your child become an early reader. Hi, my name is Anta, and in this tutorial video, I'm going to show you the best strategies for teaching toddlers how to read. Whether they are 2 or 3 years old, it's never too early for them to start learning, and with these strategies, they'll develop emergent literacy and even read like a pro, even before we know it. Let us begin with knowing what phonemic awareness is. Phonemic awareness is the ability to hear, identify, and manipulate the individual sounds that make up spoken words. It is an essential skill for reading and spelling. Young children who are phonemically aware are better able to learn how to read and spell. Phonemic awareness can be developed through activities that help children become aware of the different sounds in words. Learning to hear is the first step of learning to read. One of the best ways to help children become phonemically aware is to have them focus on the sounds in words. One way to do this is to have them listen to stories and then identify the different sounds in the words. You can also have them clap or snap their fingers along with each sound they hear. This will help them significantly. Phonics also teaches children how to read by relating the sounds of letters and letter combinations to the sounds of words. When teaching phonics, start with short vowel sounds, such as A for apple. Have your child say the sound of the letter, then have them say a word that begins with that letter. Once they are able to confidently say the sound of the letter and a word that begins with that letter, move on to the longer vowel sounds, such as E for elephant. Let's talk about the research behind phonemic awareness. The first study, which was done at the University of Salzburg, found closer examination of the relationship between phonemic awareness before instruction and later success in learning reveal a specific pattern. What is it? It is that such good progress in learning to read and to spell was also evident in the majority of children who show no phonemic awareness at the beginning of the reading instruction. However, some of the many children with low phonemic awareness before instructions experience difficulties in learning to read and to spell. The study went on to add, this specific pattern suggests that individual differences in the ease or difficulty with which phonemic awareness can be induced by preschool experiences or by reading instruction is the critical variable underlying the observed correlations between phonemic awareness measures before reading instructions and progress in learning to read. This implies that a child who has a lot of phonemic awareness at the start of grade 1 will do well in reading and spelling tests at the end of grade 1. While many children without initial phonemic awareness can achieve good reading and spelling development, a portion of the youngsters with low phonemic awareness will have trouble learning to read and spell. This supports the idea that we should be doing more to help young children develop phonemic awareness before starting school. So, here we go to 5 methods for teaching your toddler how to read in English. There are 5 different methods I use to demonstrate the phonemic. The first one is Phonemic Identity. This is the ability to identify recurring sounds in multiple words, such as k or letter C. For example, we're going to use this one for k for cat and k for car or k for can. Second is Phonemic Isolation. This is the ability to recognize the individual sounds of words such as C in the beginning of the sound cat. So, for example, let's talk about the word cat. When we go for the word cat, we will isolate the first letter, which is k, k, k. And then the last letter is t, t, t. How about the middle word? A or eh, eh. So we're gonna say k, eh, t. This will create cat. The third one is phoneme substitution. This is the ability to change one word to another by substituting one phoneme only. For example, let's say the word cat. Now, if we change the last letter, it will become car. And if we change the last letter of car into N, we will create the word can. The fourth one is called word segmenting. This is when I give the word cat and my child will learn to say the word k, t. But of course, this is quite advanced, so I don't think you can use this one for like babies, but maybe like when their children are just like around 4 years old or 5 years old, you can try to teach them this word. For example, let's go talking about the word car. So we're just gonna say car, and then my child will say k, And then if I say the word can, then I'm gonna ask them now to say the word k, And the last one, or number 5, is blending. This is when I say the individual sounds such as k, t. Then my child will string the sound together to form the word cat. Now, this is quite difficult, so the key to smooth blending is to establish a link between the various sounds, like k, t, k, t, k, t, cat, cat, cat. Now, that's what we're gonna do it. So whenever we want to talk about this one, we're just gonna teach them about the word cat, but we're gonna go very deep on it. So for example, if I say the word cat again, I know you're probably gonna get bored, with the word cat, but I'm gonna say the word cat, so I'm gonna keep repeating this one again. So by saying the letter C for cat, and then I'm gonna say A for apple, and then T for tree. So the children will learn to connect, because you see, when children are just expected to memorize, it's just gonna be quite boring. We're gonna learn to make some improvisation. So for example, we're just gonna say like car, and then we're just gonna say K for cat, A or A for apple, and R for rat. This will actually make your children understand the blending technique much better. Now, let's talk about the importance of repeated practice. When it comes to teaching kids the concept of mixing, there is no better approach than to simply engage them in repeated exercises. That's why you need to be fun. Okay, so you may also simply choose the random words from your normal conversations to segment and blend throughout the day to improve your child's learning and to reinforce the blending. For example, let's talk about nose. Where's your nose? Oh, is that your nose? This is my nose. Where's your nose? See, we keep repeating the word nose. Another example. Can you show me your hand? Oh, is that your hand? Here is my hand. Where's your hand? Okay, last example. Let's talk about green. This is a green apple. Do you like green apple? I adore green. Do you love green? Oh, I'll give you a bonus. Last word, red. This is a red apple. Do you like red apple? Hey, this apple is red, not green. Oh, do you like red? Oh, you like red apple. Good. The most essential thing is to stay active with daily blending activities. It's really easy to incorporate this into your everyday conversation. And the more you say it and practice it, the faster your child will learn. As for me, I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I believe this runs in the family. We can't simply do it like other talented toddlers like in another YouTube video who just got it after like 3 or 5 repetitions. We will probably have to repeat it 100 times or even more, if not 1,000. And if we don't practice this one for 2 days, my son will forget about it. And it was only after hundreds of practices that my child began talking to me using stretchy words. And if you try to teach blending and it doesn't sink in after 50 tries, don't worry. It's just a learning curve for both children and adults, and it takes time to master the skills. For younger children, blending and phonemic awareness are skills that must be developed over time with plenty of practice. So, that brings me to the end of today's video. Hopefully that I'll be able to see you again next time. Bye!